So welcome to this latest video on 162 Maths, and in this video we'll be continuing with the series of going through some big mark questions taken from some higher GCSE exam papers. Now before we get started working through these questions, a little reminder that a copy of the questions that we're going to go through is available for you to download by clicking on the link in the description, and I strongly recommend that you have attempted these questions before watching this video as we go through the answers, just so you can see how you would have fared using your natural ability. I'll also include a link to the 162 Maths contents page, which has easy access to GCSE lessons as well as audits and exam paper walkthroughs. So if there are any particular topics that require extra revision, then you can find a recap and a review or teaching of any of those topics on that page. So let's get started on question 1. So question 1 says Carly's total annual pay is equal to salary plus the bonus, and the question is asking us to work out the percentage change in the total annual pay, state whether it's an increase or decrease. So for this, what we need to first of all do is first of all work out how much that Carly got in her first year. So for this, what we need to do is first of all write that down. So the first year she received £26,000 plus a bonus of £4,000, giving her an annual pay of £30,000. And let's just highlight that. Now from this, what we then need to use the information given to us in the table to work out what the salary and the bonus is for the following year. So the next year, now using percentage increase, remember we always start with 100% and then we add on or take away whatever the percentage change is going to be. So here the salary is going to be the previous year, which was 26,000, multiplied by 6% increase, so that's going to be multiplied by 1.06, and that gives us an answer of 27,560. Then we need to work out the bonus. Now the bonus is £4,000, then with a 9% decrease, so 100% take away 9% is 91, so I'm going to multiply that by 0.91, and that comes up to a total of 3,640. So the total pay is going to be those two amounts added up, so it's going to be 27,560 plus 3,640, so 27560 plus 3640 comes up to a total of £31,200. Now the next thing that's left for me to then do is now work out the percentage change. Now remember that the formula for percentage change is this. So percentage change is equal to the difference divided by the original multiplied by 100. So here the difference between the two amounts of 30,000 and 31,200 is going to be 1,200 divided by the original wage, which was 30,000, and we multiply that by 100, and we get an answer of around, if I just quickly type that into my calculator, 1200 divided by 30,000 give me 1/25, which is 0.04, so that's going to be a 4% increase. And then and we know it's going to be an increase because the two amounts the amount has gone up, and there we go. Now moving on to question 2, it says the first two cube numbers are 1 and 8. Show that the third cube number can be written as a sum of 3 different prime numbers. Now the third cube number is 27, so then we just need to find 3 prime numbers that add together to give us 27. Now again, if I just write down the list of prime numbers, so we've got 3, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, we've got 17, 19, 23, and we can't use any more. So we're looking for a combination of those 3. Now there's a couple of answers we could write, so we could, and then again this is in any order. You could have 3, 5 and 19. You could have 3, 7 and 17. You could also have 3, 11 and 13. Again, you can write those numbers in any particular order, but any combination would be absolutely fine. Moving on to question 3, it says use trigonometry to work out the size of angle W. Now it gives us a clue that we're using trigonometry. We've got a right angle triangle, so we're going to be using SOHCAHTOA trig. So labelling our triangle, we've got 8.3 being our hypotenuse, this side here being our opposite, and here being our adjacent. We don't need to use the opposite because there's no information there. So which trig ratio uses A and H? Well, that's going to be cos. So cos theta equals A over H. So substituting the values that I know, I've got cos W equals 6.7 over 8.3. So to find the angles, we need to use inverse cos. So it's going to be the inverse cos of 6.7 over 8.3. And if I type that all into my calculator, I get an answer of 36.1739, blah, blah, blah. And again, it's just a case of then choosing how much you want to round it to. Now in the question, they don't indicate what they want the answer rounded to. So I'm going to go for 1 decimal place and call it 36.2 to 1 dp. Now moving on to question 4, it says 2 bags contain only green discs and yellow discs. Bag A contains 1 green disc and 4 yellow discs. Bag B contains 3 green discs and 7 yellow discs. 1 disc is picked at random for each from each bag. Complete the tree diagram with the correct probabilities. So for the first bag A, we've got a total of 5, and for bag B, we've got a total of 10. So then if I just zoom out so we can see it all on the screen. So for bag A, we've got green, we've got 1 out of 5, so that's going to be 1 over 5. And for yellow, it's going to be 4 over 5. Then for bag B, how many greens have we got? Well, we've got 3 out of 10. And for yellow, we've got 7 over 10. And again, just repeat for the second branch. And there is my tree diagram completed. Then for B, it says work out the probability that both discs are green. So here we're going for green and green. Whenever I say the word and in probability, we multiply. So it's going to be 1/5 multiplied by 3/10, which gives me an answer of 3 over 50. Then moving on, let's just zoom in so we can see it a little bit clearer on the screen. Then for this question, so here it says solve these simultaneous equations. Now when solving equations, we want to make sure that one of the letters has the same quantity. So as you can see in both these two equations, we've got 2y and they're both positive. So that means we need to take away the two equations from each other. So 7x take away 3x is 4x. The two y's cancel out and we've got 100 take away 48, which gives me an answer of 52. Then to work out x, I just need to divide by 4. So therefore that's going to give me an x value of 13. Oh, that's not right over the answer. Let's try that again. There we go. So then using one of the expressions, so let's go for 3x plus 2y equals 48. I substitute x equals 13, so I've got 3 lots of 13 plus 2y equals 48, which leaves me with 2y plus 39 equals 48. That should be, yeah. And then we've got 2y equals 39 take away 48, which leaves me with an answer of 9. So y equals 4.5, and there are my two values. So I just need to write x equals 13 and y equals 4.5. Moving on to our next question, it says A, F, B, C, D, E and D, F are straight lines. B, C and D, F are parallel. P is 3 times R. Work out the size of angle P. So if I just zoom out so we can see all of it on the screen. So looking at this, we can then know that this angle here is going to be 72 because they are corresponding. They've got an F angle there. And I also therefore know that this angle here is also going to be 72 because they are opposite. Now it says in the question that P is 3 times the size of R. So if we say that R is X, then P will be 3X. Now what do we know about angles in a triangle? Well, we know that the angles add up to 360. So what I've got is I've got 3x plus x equals, plus 72 equals 180. So 4x plus 72 equals 180. Take the 72 across and I get 4x equals 108. So therefore x is going to equal 27 degrees. Now I'm not finished because the question's asking me to work out p. Now p equals 3x. So to work out p it's going to be 3 lots of 27, which leaves me with an answer of p equals 81 degrees. Moving on to our last question, it says that an exhibition was open for 240 hours and 29,760 visitors. For 2/5 of the time the exhibition was open, there were 172 visitors per an hour. And it says for the remaining time, how many visitors per hour were there? So for this, what we need to first do is first of all work out what 2/5 of the total time is going to be. So we've got 2/5 of 240, and again if I type that into my calculator I get an answer of 96 hours. Now from that 96 hours I know that there was a rate of 172 per hour, so if I then multiply that by 72 I get an answer of 16,512 visitors during that time. So then to work out for the remaining time, it's going to be 240 hours minus 996, which gives me an answer of, and let's just quickly work that out. So I've got 240 minus 96, which equals 72. No, it doesn't. I've typed it in wrong in my calculator. So 240 minus 96 gives me 144 hours. I've then got to work out the remaining visitors, which is going to be 29760 minus 16512. So let's just quickly type that in. And I get an answer of 313,248 visitors. So all that's left for me to then do is work out the visitors per hour. So then the rate is going to be 13248 divided by 144, which gives me an answer of 92. And there we go.